Greetings. This is Dr. Brother Suave, a mind-blowing, thought-provoking, and eye-opening on-air personality, life coach, psychotherapist, author, creator, and your divine social therapist and host of Social Therapy with Dr. Brother Suave. Listen, I'm going to just start off by thanking God for another day to get it right. I thank God for waking me up with my health, my life, and my strength. And I thank God for another day to get it right. So excited about this episode. Again, man, we're on episode 8. Funny how time flies. Listen, I just wanted to just give a quick monologue. We got to really have a level of gratitude and appreciation in our lives, the people we love, respect, and want to have a long-term relationship with. And these are the things we call family. Family is not always the biological connection only. Family could be the people who you have a long-term relationship. And each and every episode, I'm always talking about maintaining great friendships and connections, and never allow technology to be your primary source of communication. It was meant to be your secondary. And sometimes we are texting people saying that's telling them you love them. No, that's not telling them you love them. That's texting them you love them. And sometimes we have to be a little more intimate. Sometimes, just let the person hear your voice. I did several experiments. And believe it or not, it doesn't even take 10 seconds to make a call to say, hey, listen, just want to hear your voice. Just want to say hi. Have a lot going on, but I didn't want to take you for granted. So, hey, listen, I'm just saying hi. So that's my little spill. Again, I call my little spills Divine Social Therapy Sessions. So today we're going to be talking about personal growth and development. We're going to be talking about striving towards your greatness. And our tonight's guest is just a wonderful person who exemplifies greatness. She exemplifies being a queen. She exemplifies royalty. And so when you think about her, you think nothing but greatness. And so we've been friends. I've been knowing her for a long time. I just watched her journey, her growth. And man, she has become a very, very powerful person. This person is an author, a publisher, an actress, a motivational speaker, a podcast host, radio host on WMBM 1490, and a certified master life coach and mentor. She is the creator of the Queen Up movement. This is a woman empowerment platform. So without further ado, we're going to bring on the Queen, Jay West.
Hello, my brother. Hello.
Hey, Queen, how you doing? Welcome to Social Therapy with Dr. Brother Suave. I am honored.
Thank you so much. Likewise, I'm honored. Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, listen, again, thank you for taking time out of your very busy schedule to join us. And again, I just gave a little brief description of you, and I would like for you to just give the people, in your own words, a little bit about yourself as we just dive into our show tonight.
Exactly. Well, I thank you so much for that great introduction. I'm like, wow, I'm all of that. You know what I mean? I don't believe in tooting my own horn. So hearing those, what I do and who I am, it's really, really amazing because you don't think about it. Once you accomplish it and once you do it, you just walk in that purpose, right?
Absolutely.
So again, I am Jay West. I consider myself the crown corrector. For so many years, I wore my crown upside down, not knowing who I am, not knowing my worth, not knowing my value. But at this juncture, I absolutely know that I'm meant to be a queen, right? So I created the Queen Up movement as a platform of sisterhood to build stronger bonds, to connect with sisters during a time of trauma for myself, right? It's like the best inventions are created or made out of trauma or need. And once you realize that need exists, and you put it out there and you understand that you're not the only one who need that, right?
Absolutely.
That support, that structure as far as, hey, somebody to confide in, somebody to listen to. Queen Up movement is actually about level up, pray up, guide up, listen up, staying strong and supporting each other through all adversity and challenges that we encounter as women, especially Black women.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you say that because a lot of times when people ask me, how you doing, Brother Suave? And they say good, and I say no. That's normally my natural response. And see, what we have to do is like word and actions have to align. So what happens is when people say good, and I know it's so many amazing words that's better than good. So each and every day as I grow spiritually, intellectually, socially. So I'm all about elevation. And so as a lot of people platform is good. So what we have to do is use powerful words and speak those things to existence, because at the end of the day, we don't always want to stay in the same place. So when I say, they ask me how I'm doing, and I normally will use one of my suave vocabulary words like suave amazing, suave tastic. But the bottom line, I'm great and I'm excellent at a minimum. So even at my worst, excellent is always better than good. And so I have the mindset of elevation. And that's the thing. What I've noticed is people may not use the words, but their actions are consistent with those words. They just have to line them up, because I see a lot of powerful people, especially you. And as I said, I seen your growth. I saw the process. I always knew you had greatness. I know sometimes we saw things differently, but I could tell you what, I was always believing in you, and it actually came to a reality. And I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you. That's why I continue to call you, to check on you and edify you.
Yes, you do. And I appreciate that. And I'm going to tell you, you have me changing my vocabulary to an extent. Like I used to say, I'm good. Now I say, I'm great. You know,
Absolutely.
I'm great. And people are always shocked to hear, oh, wow, that's something different. But no, but you can choose to be great, right? Like
Absolutely.
every day we decide how our day is going to go. Because if you wake up with the mindset of, oh, it's one of those days, woe is me, guess what? The universe is going to respond. The universe is going to tell you, yeah, it's a woe is me day. It's a bad day. So all negative energy is going to come to you. But if you wake up and say, hey, today is a beautiful day, it's a great day, guess what? Greatness is bound to happen. It's inevitable, right?
Absolutely.
Right. And I'm going to tell you, as the crown corrector, right? I wore my crown upside down, but I tell you, and I assure you, listen, queens, we don't criticize, right? We don't compete, and we don't compare ourselves to other queens. What we do is we connect, we collaborate, and we congratulate, right? So that's what queens do. So in wearing your crown in the upright position, understand you are a queen, you are royalty. So I want to tell my queens, listen, get your crown. Where's your crown? That's the question I want to ask the queens. Is it in your drawer? Is it under your bed? Is it in your good old closet, your prayer closet? Is it in the trunk of your car? Get it out, put it on, and put it in the upright position. And please don't let it be in your ex relationship's house. Go get it, put it on, and make sure that it's straight. Right? I am the crown corrector, and that's what it's about. Knowing who you are, because you're valuable and you're worthy. Right?
Yes.
That's what it is.
You know, earlier you were saying that you don't always toot your own horn. Let me tell you something about that. You know how they say it ain't bragging when it's true? Let me tell you something. I create this word, you know, I'm always coming up with words. And so I say suavidence. And this is the combination of everything I'm doing that's going to be smooth, but I'm walking in my confidence, but I'm doing it smoothly. And so a lot of times I don't wait for others to say how great I am. And I tell people, when they get to a place and they know who they are, they don't look for anybody to tell them they're great. And I know for years people didn't understand that. They asked, Suave, you this and this and that. I never waited for someone. And so when you get there, you can call yourself greatness. You don't need no one to tell you how great you are. And believe it or not, you can speak that, because words have meaning. Right. So I wanted to just recognize a few people who's calling in. Thank you, guys. I saw the wonderful, brilliant Brandy. I saw a message by Trinice. I wish I could have it back on. And my cousin Wanda. Listen, thank you guys for coming on and supporting us. Oh, it's Trinice. She says, good evening, Brother Suave.
Hey,
good evening.
Hey, Trinice. That's my cousin.
Okay, look at that. Now that's that support.
Queen up.
Yes, queen up. So
that's what it's about.
As we start our dialogue, I just wanted to ask you a few questions. That's where it's going, because we're going to be having our organic dialogue, but also I'm going to be asking you a few questions because the people need to know. So what is the Queen Up movement? Tell me a little bit about that.
Again, the Queen Up movement, it was born out of several traumas, right?
Okay.
Going through traumas, I needed something to hold on to, right? So I was embarrassed. A lot of people know this story, and my life at this juncture is an open book. So as I was going through coexisting traumas, I needed something that would make me be strong, to help me to heal, or to start that healing process, right? And I was betrayed by some good friends as I was going through these coexisting traumas, like 4 traumas in 2017. So I prayed about it, and Queen Up was the answer. And I was confused as to, what does this mean? What does Queen Up mean? Because I didn't understand it. So at that juncture, I decided to make some t-shirts, and the t-shirts sold out. And I just wanted, again, that platform, that sisterhood, because that's what I needed. So I wanted to connect with other sisters, because I know that I'm not alone in my challenges and my struggle. And we're truly more alike than we are different.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to understand we're connected, we're sisters, and build that sisterhood, build that bond, so I can pray for you. I can guide you in different situations. I can, be a part of your support system. So that's what Queen Up Movement about. Again, elevation, level up, praying up, staying up, step up, and guiding each other through our traumas. Because again, I must reiterate, and I can't reiterate enough, that we are more alike than we are different. Trust me, believe
Absolutely.
that. Yes.
I'm glad you said that, because a lot of times, again, when I did the quick monologue about people who care for you, they normally confront you and say about it. And this is a message to anyone who's listening. When you have people confronting a certain behaviors about you, and one of the biggest things to be humble, because a lot of times we may not see ourselves and our behaviors and the trauma that we have experienced. And once we get some education on, and we're not talking about education as an institution, but education is just learning, and you can get mentorship. And sometimes we have these things, and it can change our lives. So the people who really love, care, and respect for you, they're going to confront you with it. It's always, like I said in one of my first books, have an accountability partner. They may not always agree with you on every view, perspective, or idea, but they will be that person in that very critical moment that can actually save your life and give you some insight to make you an ultimately better person. And so the people who, as she was mentioning, betrayal, close friends, see, when they see you falling off, as we would talk about, not we, but people hear about the crab in the bucket. See, they're miserable. And so a lot of times they don't say anything about what they see you're struggling with, but they also see that you have a good heart and that you want to be a better person. Hey, B West.
Hey, B.
Yes. And so they don't say anything. But the people who say something, yeah, they may get on your nerves, like, God darn, this person always saying that. But trust, they respect you enough and love you enough to confront you. And that's what we have to start realizing. The people who bold enough, strong enough to confront us, trust, those are friends.
Right.
We have to really change our mindset. When people confronting us and holding us accountable, trust. You got to trust them and see them as long-term friends.
But also, Dr. Suave, you have to be open to that.
Yes, and that's why
open to that information, right? And when they're talking to you and telling you that you're wrong or that's not the way to do that, and giving you more of a productive or productive ideas of what you should be doing, you have to be open to that. Yeah, a lot of times we think we know everything, we already got things figured out, and our way is the best way. And oftentimes, or more times than not, it's not the case. So you have to be open to that instructions.
And so, as you was mentioning the trauma. So, do you think trauma is a part of life?
Well, I think there's a dichotomy of things, right?
Okay.
There's good and there's bad. Everything can't be good. Everything can't be bad. Because if you're in a good moment, understand that bad times will come. And those are tests, right? Those are lessons. It's not that, this is a bad time and I'm just failing. No, it's a time to learn. It's a time to do something differently, right? When things are good and it goes bad, it's time to do something differently and make better decisions. Right. So when things are bad, just know that good is coming. It gets greater later. You understand? Ooh. So you have to have that balance. Life is about balance, a balancing act, right? Everybody is in a state of existence. Nothing stays the same. So either you're getting better or you're getting worse. So the decision is yours. You understand? That's what you have to do. Decide which way you're going to move, because I believe that life is progressive. And if you want to be better, you got to do better. Start to learn, start to grow, start to listen. Start to take advice or seek advice, go back to school, whatever your avenue is to get better, explore that as an option.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, listen, you got us on fire already, Queen. Listen, we're going to take a quick station identification and we'll be right back.
All right.
man, I'm on MPN TV. You're on IPN TV, and the Queen is on MPN
That's
TV.
right. That's right.
Yes. Listen, our very special guest, Queen J West, is in the house.
Yeah.
She's has it on fire right now. So listen,
Mhm.
you are the epitome of success.
Oh
See, the
wow.
thing is, because I see you as a person who took control of their life,
Mhm.
recognized some things that was not in the future. You
Mhm.
took control, you got rid of those things, and you decide to pursue greatness.
Mhm.
Again, we have to do that for ourselves. And that's
Mhm.
one of the things I talk about self-love. And the reason I talk about self-love because we all got one heart, one life, one soul. We got to protect it at all costs. We
Mhm.
got a couple of dollars, we can lend it out.
Mhm.
Even if we had to give a person a kidney, we can lend it,
Mhm.
you know, but we can't lend out our life, our soul, and our heart. So sometimes we have to go through certain traumatic situations to give us a reality check, and then we pursue greatness. And just your story, knowing you, man, you are a suave, adorable, suave, amazing queen. And so I just, I see you as strong, and
Mhm.
and 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 you always been a strong-willed person. But when you strong and you get around a lot of things that have been proven to be counterproductive and get to
Mhm.
the core of the greatness of who you are, it
Mhm.
makes you a really strong person. But
Mhm.
unfortunately, so many other people misinterpret strong. So sometimes people misinterpret strong. So I wanted to ask you, what do you think about being called a strong black woman?
Oh wow. What do I feel about being called a strong black woman? I don't take that as a compliment. I take
Okay.
that really actually as an insult, because I don't hear that moniker being used for any other culture or nationality. It's always the strong black woman, because when I'm expected to be strong even in my difficult and challenging times. You understand? I'm a woman at the core. So when do I get the opportunity to be vulnerable, to be sweet, to be nice, to be kind, to hurt, and to tell you, no, I'm not good. No, I'm not okay.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? I have to adhere to the demands of society to say, oh, you're a strong black woman, so you can take all the beatings, you can take all the abuse, you can take the
Yes.
neglect, you can take the denial. No, I absolutely cannot. I cannot.
Yes.
And I don't like being refused or denied the opportunity to be vulnerable. Listen, God knew what he was doing when he made me. Hey, listen, when I come back again, I want to be a woman, right? A black woman, no less. However,
Yes.
when I'm called a strong black woman, I take that as an insult because, again, oftentimes it's used at the time when I'm at my lowest and I'm smiling and I'm wearing a mask to say, hey, I'm okay when I'm really not. You understand?
Yes.
Nobody's checking on me saying, are you okay? So I can respond and say, no, I'm not okay. I need help. I need somebody to
Yes.
support me. I need somebody to build me up where I've been torn down. So absolutely, I do
Absolutely.
not want to be called a strong black woman. Of course, we are strong. Of course,
Yes.
that is relevant. However,
Yes.
keep it in the context, right? Don't deny me
Absolutely.
our right to be vulnerable.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, so it's good and it's bad. Again, we're talking about
Yes.
the dichotomy, right?
Yes.
So being called a strong black woman at my lowest is not a compliment. When I'm doing my best and I'm striving and I'm accomplishing stuff, girl, you strong, and now that's appropriate.
Yes. And the
Understand?
people who
So
know your
yeah.
story, because it's like,
Right.
you see, when I presented the question, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
some people misinterpret it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wanted to hear your version because, again, as you know, my history, it's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times overcompensation.
Mm-hmm.
It's like anybody know me, I'm a crybaby. I let it out because I don't have a need or a desire or will to overcompensate,
Mm-hmm.
because as strong as I am as a man,
Mm-hmm.
I still will cry. I still
Mm-hmm.
will ask for help, because
Right.
remember I said at the very beginning, humility
Mm-hmm.
is important.
Right.
See, humility can take you to a whole nother level.
Mm-hmm.
Let me disclose something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not good at math. I am absolutely terrible in math. But one thing about me, I will ask questions. So here's a quick scenario,
Mm-hmm.
very very simple one. So if I don't know something, so I don't know, I'm going to ask you this question and I need you to answer it. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's a math question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm struggling around here, but because I'm the person who I am, I'm not going to waste time struggling.
Mm-hmm.
Queen J West, what is 2 + 2?
Or
Exactly. See,
mm-hmm.
ladies and gentlemen, I got my answer. See, I don't like to waste time because time is the one thing that we can't replace. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
waste time wondering things. I go ask people so they can help me through humility. Because see,
Mm-hmm.
through humility, the split second I ask, the split second they tell me, the split second I'm empowered, and the split second I got my answer. See,
Exactly.
this is how we have to have the mindset of humility,
Mm-hmm.
communicating, asking questions,
Mm-hmm.
because it takes us to a whole nother level. We
Mm-hmm.
we don't always have the luxury of wasting time being proud and not asking what we need to ask. We ask
Right.
somebody and they can tell us and bam, we on point.
Right.
So I just thank you for your response, because I had a relative on there. Her name is Wanda Coney. She said, "Wow, um, Trinice, thank you."
Mm-hmm.
And so again, we have to be able to have dialogue. And so again, you knowing me and I'm knowing you,
Mm-hmm.
and you saying based on the individual who knows you, it's appropriate. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? So again, I commend you because I know it took strength to get where you at.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes, it did. But listen to this. I am woman and all my essence and all our sexuality, sensuality, right? Hear me
Mm-hmm.
roar, right? But sometimes I want to purr and I want to purr softly because I'm telling you that I need you, that I
Mm-hmm.
want you. I want to be held. I want to be kissed. I want to be touched, right? So when I'm purring, allow me to purr and hear that and embrace that for what it is. And it's not weakness, it's
Yes,
vulnerability, right?
absolutely.
And I want to piggyback and go back to what you said when I took control of my life. I have a mentor by the name of Mr. Ed Haynes, right? And he talks about deciding decisions, right? That's my
Right.
mentor. He's also my manager. And when we talk about deciding, I'm very decisive at this juncture in my life. So when you decide, right? D, to remove, right? To side is to kill off, right? So when you talk about suicide,
Mm-hmm.
homicide, pesticide, right? That's to
Mm-mm.
remove and to cut off, right? So when you
Yes.
make a decision, that's cutting off all other options. That's saying this is what it is, this is who I am, and this is what it's going to be. So make a decision. Your grandmother would always say to crap or get off the pot, right? So that's what it's about. So at this point, I'm very decisive in who I am, and what I want. And I'm gonna let the world know that because I can do
Absolutely.
it.
And
Right.
again, this is what it's all about when you're talking about personal growth and development.
Mm-hmm.
See, and see, that's what I'm talking about, the suavidence. You
Mm-hmm.
know, when people not there, they perceive it as arrogance, but they
Mm-hmm.
have to put in the work and then they understand you can speak with authority.
Mm-hmm.
See, people who don't understand it
Mm-hmm.
because they didn't travel that road,
Right.
they think their person is boasting or bragging. But when
Right.
they get empowered, they're like, hey, I don't need nobody to tell me how great I am. I'm walking in my strength. I'm walking in
Right.
my power. And let me
Right.
tell you, man,
But I'm gonna
Queen,
tell you, but listen, Keith, let me tell you something. Through my pain, right? I decided to reclaim my power, take control of
yes,
that, and now I'm fully walking in my purpose.
woke.
That's what it is.
It's
All the way,
woke.
all the way,
Yes,
all the way. And I'm gonna
absolutely.
tell you, I have a new appreciation for Kanye West. I've been watching his documentary, right? And he
Mm-hmm.
was asked a question, who are you? And he said, I'm a God, right? And people are like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, who do you think you are? Why would you say you God and that? He said, listen, I'm telling you who I am. You know what I'm saying? This is who I am. I'm not asking you who you are. You need to figure out who you are. You understand? So at
Yes,
this point, I am a queen, and I'm walking in all of that.
yes,
So yeah,
and
so
that's
I'm securing that because I know who I am.
yes. We have
Yeah.
Marla McCray. She said,
Hey
"Yes,
sis,
ma'am."
love you. Clean
Yes,
up. Clean
Fred
up.
Jones.
But yeah,
Thank you.
so I have a new appreciation for Kanye because I always thought he was arrogant. I thought he, I had my thoughts about him. But seeing this documentary, he literally manifested his life. And
But
that's
see,
the thing about power of words. Talking about it, you put that in the universe, guess what? Again, the universe is going to respond to what you say and what your desires are.
yes,
Yeah.
Vanless said, "Death and life is in the power of the tongue." And this is what I'm saying. When
Yes.
we're not there, we are overly critical of a person's self-determination,
Right.
confidence, and
Right.
speaking their truth.
Right.
We have to get there. And that's why I
Right.
tell people, when you're not there and you don't understand, this is why people they fight against things they don't understand. And
Right.
so for years, actually,
Yes.
Trinice was just telling her husband
Exactly.
just
Trini, the
yesterday
creator. Yeah.
about Kanye exactly again.
Mhm.
And so what happens is, as you work, took that strong person, taking your power,
Mhm.
and getting to a place, it's
Mhm.
so easy to
Mhm.
identify with Kanye. See, the
Mhm.
thing is, we get things mixed up. He
Mhm.
may have certain things that we may say as mental health issues, but it still does not take away his ability to manifest things in his life, and he did it. He spoke it
Yes.
into
He
existence,
spoke it. Yes, he
and
did.
that's the thing, you know. And
Mhm.
I always tell people, I said, man, you know me for 20 plus years. I'm always
Yeah.
listening. Like, oh, Walker,
Yeah.
you know Walker, yeah. Look,
Right. You were
he
a bit
know
much. You were a bit much, Walker.
I am, but guess what? Everything I said was going to happen, it happened.
Yes.
And
Facts.
no one can say I did. I speak my thing into existence. So even after retiring, so many people say, man, I get you now,
Hmm.
because
Yeah.
they had to get there.
They had their own personal growth.
Yes,
Right.
and so they
Right.
had to walk their walk and do their journey.
Right.
So again, man,
Hmm. Hmm.
you are incredibly powerful. I just want you to I know earlier you was talking about your books selling out, your books and t-shirts, I mean your t-shirts. So tell us a little bit about your books, but tell us about your products as well, and
Hmm.
any services, if any.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. My life is literally an open book, right? I've written three
Woo.
books, and and they're all nonfiction. So my first book. Now, don't judge me, all right? I didn't create cheating. I didn't make it up. It did, and the people were cheating before I wrote the book, and after I wrote the book. So my first book is the cheating guide from a woman's point of view,
Uh-huh.
right? After being
Hmm.
cheated on, I subsequently became a cheater, and I was so much better at it. I felt the need to help my fellow man or the brother, right?
Hmm.
So I wrote about the instances when I cheated, and I interviewed about 100 people plus, and I
Hmm.
have their stories in there as it relates to the specific topic, because nothing is ever all about me. I believe in
Yeah.
collaborating and building on what other people are dealing with, because I know, again, I'm not alone in that. So the cheating guide from a woman's point of view is the cheating game from my perspective. So that's what
Okay.
that's about. And then being, when I was cheating, I was also in an abusive relationship, right?
Hmm.
So I was getting the accolades and the compliments from the men on the street. However, I wanted it from the man that I love. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
man that you love can break you down in so many ways. You know what I mean? And then you're going in the street, and then you have these guys telling you you're beautiful or you're fine, or I like you, and I want to get to know you. So that gave me that improved my self-esteem of sorts. So that allowed me to go ahead and cheat. But inevitably, I had to go back to being who I am. As women, we're monogamous at heart. We're nurturers, we're caregivers, and that's who we are. So I had to eventually end those relationships. But before I ended those relationships, I was called a bitch. Can I say that on this? I don't know if I can. I say the
Yeah.
word
Go
bitch.
ahead.
Okay, I was called a bitch so many times in that relationship. I took it on as my name, right? But I owned it, I embraced it, and I made it. So the second book is be that bitch. The word bitch, because all things work together for your good, ladies. Know and understand that. They call Oprah a bitch. They call Michelle Obama a bitch. So I'm in the bitch category, right? So the word bitch is being in total control of herself. It's about taking charge and knowing who you are as a woman. And it has chapters in there that entail, hey, letting you know that you're better than your circumstances or your situation. So that's that. And my third book is titled Drama. It's a book of poems for victims and survivors of domestic violence. Drama, again, an acronym for deliberate, repeated actions meant to alter. Because if you've ever experienced domestic violence, you know that it alters your mental state. It alters who you think you are or who you want to be. So that's what that's about, drama, and that's really a passion project for me. And it really was hard. It's a collaboration of about 27 poems that I rewrote, and it took me about 4 months to rewrite those because those poems were written at the exact time that I was abused. So they're
Okay.
really heartfelt, and I cried writing it, and I get emotional even talking about it because it's real. It's real.
Yes.
And again, I know that I'm not alone in that struggle and that challenge. And I want any woman going through it who's been through it, listen, you're better than that. You're worthy of the love that you deserve, you know?
Yes.
Yes. So that's what that's about. So those are my books available on Amazon. And yeah, it's a work of passion. It's a work of purpose. I promise you. It's not even about the money. It's not even about the sales. You know?
Yeah. You know, it's something I wanted to touch on. And see, this is the thing again. While
Am I talking too fast? I don't know. I get so passionate. I start to
well,
talk really fast.
I know. So that's why you're on point. the thing is, this is why I like to have real people on our show, because again, it's never about perfection, but progress. We're on episode 8. You understand?
Okay.
I started off having to write everything down. Now I don't have to write things down. I started off little anxiety, but as we do, we get better and better.
Absolutely.
And so you don't stop because of our imperfections. We don't stop because we make mistakes. We
Right.
continue to press forward and strive to be consistent. So therefore, we can have messages to tell people. So you were saying something in the book, and one of the things I notice is that sometimes when I see ladies go through their journeys about overcompensating, because when you were saying cheating, and you took on those masculine characteristics,
Right.
and that's why I tell ladies, you heard what she said from the beginning. She wanted to be, she wanted to purge, she wanted to be the feminine person. And sometimes when we overcompensate, because one of the things I wrote in my first book, hurt people. And sometimes we get caught up in those characteristics that's not the organic us. And then once we come around, we learn these lessons. And this is why I say strong for her, because she was able to sit back and evaluate her life, the circumstances, and tap into who she was ordained to be. That
Right.
queen, that feminine, purring queen. That's where all of us need to be. I remember hearing
Yes.
they will
Yes,
say,
to Wanda. I'm sorry, Dr. Suave.
"Oh,
Yes, Miss Wanda. They're available under my name, Jay West.
yes," and y'all be sure to purchase her products. In fact, before I even finish my thing, do you have a copy on your present?
Well, I got to move out the camera. I don't have it at the desk.
Okay,
A
it's
copy
okay.
of what? The 3 books?
Yeah.
You want me to?
Okay, well, you know what? Don't worry about it, because guess what? It's that time. We're gonna go a quick break for station identification, and
Okay.
when we come back, she's gonna have those books.
Okay, absolutely.
All right. And we're back. MPN TV, branding Black America to the world. We left off trying to I wanted to finish the statement I was saying about overcompensation. And so when people come in and tap into their greatness, they look at how overcompensation could be so detrimental to who we really are. And I'm just, we have to always thank God, our creator, for our insight, our journeys, because our experiences are like tools to us going back and reflecting back and seeing what tools we need and those things that help us to empower ourselves. So I'm happy for her transparency. And again, she has her 3 books, and she's just going to share. So share a little bit about your 3 books. Give that plug.
Okay. I know, right? Shameless plug. All right. So the first book, again, my books are a progression of my life. So this is the cheating guide for Wanda. Wanda, where you at? I hope you're
Bring it
still.
over. Yeah. Center in the center. Bring it down. Bring it down. Bring it a little back. And there you go. Right there. Right there. Right there.
The cheating guide from a woman's point of view.
Okay.
All right. So available on Amazon, Jay West. All right. And then we have, this is my baby right here too. This is my baby. Be that bitch. Again, ladies, remember, all things work together for your good. So the word bitch is an acronym, being in total control of herself. All right. And thirdly, for victims and survivors of domestic violence. If you know someone, or even if you're going through a domestic violence situation, trust me, these poems will enlighten you. They will build you up. They will start your healing process. And hey, know that you're better than that. All right. Drama. No more, no more drama. All right. Like Mary J. Blige said, no more drama. All right. That's what it's about.
Man, listen, I have to say this because everything I do is from a social, spiritual, and clinical perspective. Um, I know it may be people saying, well, why is he endorsing her? Why she has this type of language in her books? Why, why? Let me tell you guys something. We have people who are holy, church. The bottom line is we look at what people are now, but all of us have history. We have past. And when you see a person who being overly critical about the language a person may be using at this moment, I think you really may need to reflect back and look at your dark places. Her books are indications of her journey.
Mhm.
If you could say whatever about the title of the names and everything, but you need to see her journey and where she is now and her contribution to not just a building, but to our community and all about empowering women. Because a lot of people have a lot of stories. They don't have the strength. They're ashamed. They don't tell their stories and they keep it. It's almost like when the king gave this person this money and he kept it and he didn't let it multiply. She let her experience and information multiply so it can multiply and bless the masses.
Mhm.
And so she has a story, and we have to start to understand and be not being so judgmental. So
Mhm.
I edify her. I'm happy that she does what she does because again, like Brandy say,
Thank you,
there
Brandy.
the language doesn't matter. It's the message. It's like when
Mhm.
the book what's called It's Precious. That book I heard was terrible writing, but it was a message. You
Mhm.
know, it's like sometimes I do self publishing. There may be some errors in it, but guess what? Forget about the errors.
Mhm.
You understand the message, just the language we
Right.
use. Like for
Right.
example, somebody say, "I'm finna do this." Don't correct them. You
Right.
know exactly what they're saying. So you putting
Mhm.
too much emphasis on
Mhm.
things that don't matter
Mhm.
instead of listening to the message. That's why we got to get past the messenger and listen
Mhm.
to the message. That's what it's
Mhm.
all about. And her books
Mhm.
have very powerful messages in it. And be sure to support her, support this queen, because I'm
Mhm.
telling you again, our shows will be mind blowing, thought provoking, and eye opening experiences. So thank you
Mhm.
so much
Mhm.
for showing those books, and I'm proud of you as
Thank
always.
you. Thank you
So
so much.
you have the books,
Mhm.
you have the products,
Mhm.
and when I'm reading your bio, it says about your nonprofit organizations. So
Mhm.
tell me what your nonprofit organizations are about.
Okay, absolutely. But let me go back and piggyback off what you just said. Listen, I make no apologies for who I am. My challenges, my struggles, and my successes are who I am. And that's what ultimately made me the queen that I am. And I'm walking in my
Yes,
purpose. So the title of the book, people can relate to that. People are
yes,
hurting. People want more. People need to be built up. People need to heal. So handling them with kids' gloves is not going to make them any better. You understand? Give it to them straight, no chaser. As my
yes,
grandmother used to say, give it to them straight. We are talking about this. This is an adult conversation. We're not dealing with children. So the language is what it is. The experience is
yes,
what it is, and my life is what it was. And it's so much different now, and I'm so much better for it because those challenges made
absolutely.
me who I am. So now my nonprofit, Queen Up Movement and Leadership Academy. Again, everything that I do is about elevation, right? So we're teaching womanhood 101 because the music that these young ladies are listening to have the idea that they're so sexualized. I want them to know that they're more than their beauty and their booty, right? More than their butt and their cut. And if you know what the cut is, I'm being keeping it PG right now. They're more than that. So quality, value,
Message.
they're worthy, right?
Yes.
So the Queen Up Movement Leadership Academy is
Raw.
all about that. And we're the bridge. We're going to take these young ladies from who they are and where they are to who they want to be with tangible resources, real life experiences, encouragement, mentorship. We're building a queendom. And that's what it is. We're going back to
Mm.
when they were dressing up. No satin caps. Hey, I don't like the satin cap. Those are not meant to go outside your front door. I don't care what nobody says. That's my opinion. That's me talking, right? So they need to know you need to dress up. Put your makeup on, put your hair on. Fix your hair, dress appropriately, and they need to know that. So we're talking about career choice. We're talking about etiquette. We're talking about resume preparation. We're talking about entrepreneurship, business creation, home ownership. We're talking about all the things life skills 101. That's what we're talking about because we need to get back to the basics. Because if you follow what society wants you to be or who they want you to be, we ain't just talking about thoughts and twerking. It's more to life than that. There's a time and there's a place for that. But when we're talking about queens, when we're talking about being better than you know what I'm saying, than you are, or better than you want, being who you want to be, it's taken to another level. So Queen Up Movement and Leadership Academy is all about womanhood, even college prep, right? Resume preparation. We're talking about all of these things. Dress for success. They need to understand what's appropriate for the nightclub, for church, for a job interview. So we're doing all of that. We're doing all of that. Yeah.
Yes. It sounds like this organization that I know of. It's just the opposite.
But I want this to go global, and I want it to be in every Dade County, Broward County, Monroe County. I want it to be a required course in all the schools. It's a 9-week course, and it's so relevant and it's so needed right now.
Speak, sis. Marla, you have a Marla
Hey,
McCoy.
sis. Yes, that's what it's about.
Speak, sis. And again, this is the thing. We are the elders now. So we had our journeys, our ups and downs, our experiences. So it's imperative that we give back. It's imperative that we share. See, transparency equates to empowerment. We have to tell them the dirty part. Like you say, your grandma was saying, no chaser. We need to do this. And we do have it, Vandals. We do. There's plenty of organizations out there. We have Boys to Men mentoring program and North Carolina. You have the Devonshire Academy. It's plenty of them. You just got to get out there and get it. It's plenty of organizations. You have Steve Perry. It's plenty of organizations. Again, we Google for things we want to be entertained. We can Google things we want to volunteer. And this is the thing. We have an obligation to give. Like we look at biblical principles and we hear love is the greatest. But love used to be the word charity. And charity is giving. It's a book. Hold on one second. It's a book that I have right here. And see, this is the book what it talks about called The Go-Giver. Okay. This what changes the world. See, people like you and I and all the people who cares about, like you said, it's not about the money. See, the blessing is in giving. So the more people have the mindset of giving, it balances out because we are the elders now. So we got to show them balance. And you said balance in the beginning. And so again, when we out there, we can have our shorts, we can have our hats, we can have our things, but it's also, we want to have more pride in how we represent ourselves.
Right.
And
exactly.
So a lot of times we have to teach them. See, our last show talking with Mayor Shirley Gibson, one of the things we were talking about, how do we expect people to know if we don't take time to teach?
Right.
So your academy, your leadership academy is teaching those young women and empowering them. And so you have organizations like my organization and other organizations, mentoring programs that's mentoring our young men. And so again, we have to come together because divided, this is not working. So we have to come to reality is we need our kings to teach our young princes, and we need our queens to teach our young princesses. And so it's important that we come together because you and I don't exist without you and I, the egg and the sperm. So we have to, not just biological, but spiritually, socially, clinically, everything. We got to come together and have strong dialogue because we are all we have.
We are all we got. We were talking about that off camera, right? Absolutely. But I also want to expound on that the older women, our generations, like you say, we are the elders, but women, we've been subscribing to struggle love for so many years, right? My sister and I were talking about this, right? We hear it in our music. Just like the young ladies are hearing the twerking and about the booties and the other kind of stuff in the music right now, we heard that growing up. Like Betty Wright talked about having a half a man is better than having no man at all. Is that true? Or is it, is that factual? So a lot of women are living that truth, right? So then you have Jasmine Sullivan saying, I broke the windows out your car. I mean, what are you doing, sis? Tighten up your crown, straighten your crown. You know what I mean? Exactly. Then you have Queen Naja saying, pack light, because her man made a mistake. So she putting him out for the night because you'll be right back tomorrow. What is that about? You understand? It's a
Mhm.
team effort. It's about building, being stronger. Let's talk about what's wrong. Let's make it right. Let's work together as a team effort. Now, I ain't gonna be no ride or die. We can ride, we can build, we can create, but I ain't dying with you. You
Yes.
understand? So stop subscribing to that struggle love. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
And
That's not love at all.
no, it's actually dark love.
Right, right,
Yes. It's,
right.
sometimes, I tell people you got to understand love and dark love, because sometimes it's hard to tell a lover that the love they're giving is dark.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes
Wow.
we say that, oh, I love them. And what happens is you're enabling them.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, even when we look at codependency, we always often look at the beneficiary as the codependent. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes the benefactor is the codependent, because they always need somebody to need them, and they want to brag and say, oh, I kicked them out and do this. But the
Mm-hmm.
reality is they need that. That's that dark love.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad. I'm happy that you taking the initiative, and I
Mm-hmm.
know you have a brilliant team, like-minded people who are
Mm-hmm.
supporting you. So I wanted to change slightly,
Mm-hmm.
and because something that you said that triggered me. And so I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to ask you, do you feel that Black women are settling less than they deserve in relationships?
Oh, absolutely.
Why?
Absolutely. I think. Well, I know I have personally, but I think we are overall. When I say overall, I'm talking about the masses, the majority. I
Okay.
think we all, because again, we've subscribed to that struggle love. I got to be a ride or die when he needs me. You understand? I got to be there for him. I got to support him. But then who's supporting you? Who's building you up? When you need that, is it being reciprocated? The whole thing is about reciprocation. When I'm giving, and it's not about just taking. It's about giving both ways. It's about give
Yes.
and take in any relationship. So, but a lot of times we're just as women, especially Black women. You know what I mean? We love our kings. We support our kings. We need our kings, right? So we'll ride and we'll be with him and we'll support him until we are tired and exhausted and we have nothing more to give.
Yeah.
That's why I'm impressing upon women to be better for yourself. That self-care time is very, 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 very important. So you
Yes.
got to understand you need to focus on you even when you're supporting him.
Exactly.
You know.
And again, sometimes you have to be focused. Like I remember, see, sometimes unfortunately, when you're confused, it's easy to think backwards,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes you do things, and this is when we don't know order.
Mm-hmm.
Again, earlier when I asked you the question, what is self-love to you? And when we start understanding self-love, again, we're breaking it down. You have to get you right and love
Mm-hmm.
yourself so you
Right.
have enough understanding to know the difference between love and dark love.
Right.
And so that's why we have these relationships that sometimes are not reciprocal.
Right.
And so
Right.
I'm glad that you brought some clarity to that.
Right.
So again, it's important that a lot of people understand that,
Right.
because again, it's a journey.
It
Nothing
is.
happens overnight, and this
Right.
is where we have to take those experiences. Don't let
Mm-hmm.
those experiences go to waste.
Right.
You know, and so again, as we grow, when we look
Mm-hmm.
at it, if you're
Mm-hmm.
thinking the same at 40 and you did
Mm-hmm.
at 20, of course, we know you wasted 20 years of your life. You don't
Exactly.
want to waste 20 years of your life. So those heartaches, those breakups, those
Right.
mistakes,
Right.
got those things, compartmentalize and use them to your best interest.
Right.
And
Right.
again, listen, ladies and gentlemen, tell your story.
Mm-hmm.
Write your books down. Books are not just listen, let me explain to you about when I started getting into personal growth and development 35 years ago.
A long time ago, right?
Yes. and I think you know how you go and speak
Mm-hmm.
and people write notes down, they like writing things down. Let me
Mm-hmm.
tell you something. Write your experiments, your experiences down. Keep a journal, and those things can transition into
Mm-hmm.
product, and then you started doing things because it's important that you benefit and monetize off your experiences. You're
Mm-hmm.
not only teaching people, but you having something to go back, and so they can go ahead and they have something tangible to go
Right.
back, and then you monetize that stuff. And this is
Mm-hmm.
the thing when it comes to personal growth and development, because
Mm-hmm.
again, everything is from a social, spiritual, and clinical perspective. So the
Mm-hmm.
social perspective is you benefit monetarily, and
Right.
then the spiritual perspective, you are growing spiritually, getting more centered and knowing who you are. And the clinical perspective is understanding how important your mental health is and how to deal with traumas.
Right.
And so these things are all important.
Right.
So I wanted to ask you another question because again, when you talk about your books, you talk about your products, you talk about your nonprofit, and as I read your bio,
Hmm.
I know that you have a YouTube channel,
Hmm.
and also tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, absolutely. My YouTube channel, Queen Up Chronicles Talk One, right?
Okay.
Because we are one. So that's what it's about. So I host celebrity interviews. I promote Black and minority owned businesses. I talk about relationship challenges, current events, and of course, fashion.
Hmm.
That's what I'm
Oh, you
passionate
got
about.
that fashion on. You got that
Exactly.
fashion on.
Hey, dress for success. That's what it's about. So yeah, Queen Up Chronicles Talk One. I currently have 17 episodes available for viewership. I interviewed about 32 black-owned businesses and a few celebrities in and out the show. And it's a wonderful show. So I'm very proud of it. It's my baby. So go check it out and make sure that you subscribe to it. Right. So that's what it is. Queen Up Chronicles Talk One. We are one.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. Oh man. So again, you do your show, but I'm gonna tell you this.
Mhm.
When I found out you was at WMBM,
Mhm.
let me tell you something. Like I say, 30 some years ago, that was I always wanted to be on WMBM. I done some interviews there.
Mhm.
It was a wonderful experience. Man, I
Okay.
really, but that was the place I always wanted to call home.
Nice.
End up working at Hot 105
Mhm.
and Y100.
Mhm.
Um, but I always wanted to be on WMBM. And
Oh
when I saw
wow.
you was on there, I was like, wow.
Wow. Right.
It's like how
Right.
you live vicariously through someone else. And I'm
Of
saying,
course. Oh
I'm
yeah.
so happy for you. Because again, I remember doing some interviews and promoting my book.
Mhm.
I actually told them that's what I wanted to do, and I said if I come back in
Yeah.
town, man,
Yeah.
put me
Right.
down. But
Right. Wow.
it's excellent. Again,
Mhm.
I'm
Mhm.
proud of you and everything that you do.
Thank you.
And I had asked you a couple of more questions, maybe one. And this is
Mhm.
dealing with again when we saying we are one.
Yes.
You were saying we are one, so I'm going to take we are one in terms of Black women sticking together,
Mhm.
and that's again. So I want to ask you: do you feel that Black women support each other?
Oh wow. Now that's a loaded question, right? That's a
Oh,
loaded
it is.
question, doctor. Now you trying to get me caught up. Do
No,
black
because
women
I mean, I want to know because
do black
you
women
know.
support each other? Um, well, you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. I think we're getting better. I
Okay.
think as we are growing in our self-love, self-respect, and our self-worth, and really understanding who we are, I think we're getting better. But I tell you this, if I had a dollar for each time I was asked, why are you trying to empower women? Why are you trying to, especially women in Miami? You're wasting your time. I would be at least 1,000 there because other women don't believe it. They don't see that it can happen. But I think women are operating from a place of trauma, a place of hurt, of distrust, right? Being betrayed, being denied, being neglected. So we have a hard time trusting each other and building true sisterhood amongst each other. When all we need to do is just talk to each other and help each other heal, because I can't reiterate enough, we're so much more alike than we are different. So operating from that place of hurt and needing to heal will never build a bond, right? Because you see it all the time. Like a man will cheat with a woman, and the main woman will get mad at the woman instead of getting mad at the man. You understand? Instead of saying confronting her man who made the vows or made the commitment to her, she's mad at the woman. You need to focus on your man or your
Nice
significant
hit that
other,
part.
because he's the one or she's the one that betrayed you, not the one on the outside. You understand?
Okay.
So I believe again, a lot of women are operating from a place of hurt, a place of mistrust, a place of denial, a place of neglect, a place of insecurity.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's preventing us from building and growing with each other. But I'm here to change the narrative, and I tell you, we are stronger together, and that's going to change very, very, very soon. It's a work
Absolutely.
in progress, and it's happening as we speak. Trust and believe that.
Yes.
My sisters
Vanity
know it.
says self-hate is
Yeah,
real.
yeah.
And so here's um something I want to address
Hmm.
as a centered person, as a person of integrity.
Hmm.
When we say we as one, and so I was able to address your perspective on we as one as terms of women. And everything you say, well, when it comes to branding Black America to the world, but when it comes to us as a community, we have to see the mindset of one. This is where spiritually, when man and woman come together, they come as one.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I'm looking at or listening to some of the things you're saying, and from my perspective, you can take everything you said and replace the BW and put the BM on there, and it will be consistent.
Okay. Say that again.
Everything you said, like you were
Okay.
saying, everything about
But when
Black
you said
women,
BW, the
the
black
Black
woman.
woman,
Okay.
you take the Black woman off
Black man.
and put Black man. And so
Okay.
when you come to, so it's not just the women, it's us. Remember us as
Right.
one
Yes.
race, one culture.
Absolutely.
So what we have to do is understand the damage that has done to us
Mm-hmm.
collectively.
Yes.
And so it's not strictly dealing with our Black women. It's not
Right.
strictly dealing with our Black men. It's
Right.
us.
Mm-hmm.
When they say African Americans, they're not
Mm-hmm.
talking about African American women, African American men. We're
Right.
talking about African Americans.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like when I say there is no you without me, and there is no me without you.
Mm-hmm.
We're one. Like when we marry, we're
Mm-hmm.
one. So we
Right.
have to start understanding. That's why they say treat others how you want to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
So what we have to do is like what we're doing, having dialogue,
Right.
conversation.
Right.
And so what we have to do is realize that the pain that we have experienced
Mm-hmm.
and how it is hurting us
Right.
and how we have to address each other
Right.
and have to come together and have this strong dialogue and hold each other accountable,
Right.
because at the end of the day, we're causing a lot of pain. And again, we are all that we have.
Right.
And so we have to be very mindful of that. And
Right.
those are things I just wanted to address.
Mm-hmm.
No contradiction, just to give my point of view that I look at us collectively.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So again, I appreciate the fact because again,
Mm-hmm.
it's still that one person. Like you have to deal with yourself in your group, and I have to
Right.
deal with myself in my group, and then we come
Mm.
together, and then
Right.
we'll be able to really, really do some amazing, or should I say, suave, amazing things.
Exactly, exactly.
Yes.
But talking
So,
about communication, Dr. Suave, it has to be effective and comprehensive
yeah.
communication.
Exactly.
So we can't just
Yes.
be talking and we're like we're talking to a wall, right? You
Absolutely.
got to be comprehending. So the sender needs to ensure that the receiver is understanding what is being said.
Yes. And that's where it's called effective communication. Because
Comprehensive.
if you're not understanding what I'm saying,
Hmm.
it's just one sided.
It's
So it's
futile.
imperative that the deliverer,
Right.
making sure the person they're delivering it to
Receiver.
understands it. And then we
Yes.
co-sign and say, do you understand what I'm saying? And they say
Right.
yes or no.
And then you do your checks and balances to make sure that your message is being understood.
Absolutely.
Right? But I also have a king up line, right? It's about manning up, stepping up, because we need our kings. We support you, we love you, we need you, we want you, right? So king up,
Mhm.
you know,
Absolutely.
be a good husband, be a good father, be a good, any relationship, just be good in that.
Yes.
Right?
So man, this was episode 8. This was a mind-blowing, thought-provoking, and eye-opening experience with Queen J. West. Listen,
Thank
be
you.
sure to subscribe, share, follow. Listen, each and every week we try to bring you these divine social therapy sessions.
Right.
And again, thank you, Queen J. West. I appreciate you. You are suave, amazing queen.
Mm-hmm.
So
All right.
before we go out, just tell everybody how they can contact you and give that last plug on your products. And
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Follow me on Queen Up Movement. That's Queen_up_movement. Follow me on Queen Up Chronicles Talk 1. Follow me on Queen Up Media, and absolutely follow me on my Queen Up Academy and Leader Queen Up Academy on all these on Instagram. Right? I want everybody to be a part of that and understand we are again are strong together. But in closing, I want, I was listening to this tobacco commercial. I don't know if you heard it, Dr. Suave. There's a quitter in you, right? So I want to say this to the queens. There's a quitter in you, right? Quit dumbing yourself down. Know your worth, know your value. right? Quit stepping lightly. Make them feel every single step, right? Stop accepting or quit accepting less than you deserve. You are worthy, you're valuable, and you're more than enough in any situation. All right? So, queen up.
Queen up. And king up.
And king up. Absolutely.
Yes. So thank you again, Queen J. West. This is Dr. Brother Suave, another episode of Social Therapy with Dr. Brother Suave.
Thank you.
So just remember, great minds reach great places. I love you, and I mean it. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
This program was made possible by Neighborhood Planet Broadcasting Systems, Neighborhood Planet Network, and from contributions to NPN TV from viewers like you.